I'm about to show you a trick that most people are completely ignoring with AI image generator. And it's the difference between getting random pretty pictures and getting exactly what you need every single time. Look, I know what you're thinking. I've tried image generator tools. I type in what I want, I get something close maybe, and then spend 2 hours regenerating it until I accidentally get what I want. But here's the thing, there is a better way, and it is sitting right in front of us, hiding in plain sight. It is called JSON prompting, and once you understand how it works, you're going to wonder why nobody's talking about this more. I'm Riz. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into it. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly when to use structured prompts, why they unlock superpowers in certain AI models, and I'm going to show you a live example where I turn literally 8 words into fully designed app interface. Sound good? Let's go. So first thing first, what even is JSON? Don't panic. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, but you don't need to know JavaScript. You don't need to be a programmer. All JSON really is, it's a fancy organized list that computers can read. Think of it like this. When you write a normal prompt, you're basically speaking to the AI in English. For example, hey, give me a marketing image with beverage can, make it look cool, and maybe add some lighting. That works sometimes, but the AI is guessing what you mean by cool, or it is guessing what some lighting looks like. And JSON removes the guesswork. Instead of vague descriptions, you're giving the model machine-readable parameters. You're defining exactly what you want in a language the AI understands natively. And here's the best part. I wrote a prompt that translates plain English into JSON for you so you can describe what you want like a normal human being, and it converts it into structured data automatically. You get all the power of JSON without needing to learn code. But now you're probably asking, okay, Reshe, is this kind of universal trick? Should I use JSON for everything? The answer is no, absolutely not. And here's the truth that nobody on Twitter wants to admit. JSON prompting is not a silver bullet. In fact, there are tons of situations when JSON is actively bad. You want the AI to be creative, to explore, to surprise you. JSON kills that. It constrains the model. You're essentially putting guardrails on its imagination. So when you're just brainstorming, when you want vibes and aesthetic exploration, when you're just playing around, skip the JSON, let the model roam free. That's what tools like Midjourney are built for. They're vibe machines. You say neon cyberpunk aesthetic and they just vibe it out. But here's where JSON becomes absolutely essential. When you know exactly what you want and you need it to be right. Let me give you some example. You're creating a marketing image for beverage launch. The can needs to be positioned exactly right. The model in the shot needs to be wearing specific clothing. The lighting has to match your brand guidelines. That is a JSON prompt. You're designing a user interface. You need the colors to match your design system. The buttons need to be a specific size for accessibility. The layout has to be consistent across multiple screens. That's JSON prompt. You're building a diagram for a technical presentation. The components need to be labeled precisely. The relationship between elements need to be crystal clear. That's a JSON prompt. See the pattern here? JSON is for high-stakes situations where correctness matters more than creativity. And this brings me to why I'm so obsessed with using JSON, specifically with advanced AI image models. Here's something most people don't understand about modern AI image generators. They're not all the same. Some models are vibe machines. They prioritize aesthetic feel, artistic inspirations, that wow factor when you first see the image. But certain models, and I'm specifically talking about NanoBanana Pro, they're not vibe machines, they're renderers. What's the difference? A renderer thinks about what it's doing. It is precise and it lives and dies in correctness, not just looking cool. And here's the insight that changed everything for me. One of the major challenges AI image generators face is consistency. Advanced models have improved, but the results can still differ. Especially when the prompts are vague, and JSON solves that problem completely because you're not being vague, you're being surgical. The real superpower of these rendering-focused models is something called compositional control. You can pivot a camera around the same scene, you can change the themes, layouts, visual styles, all while keeping the core elements stable. JSON makes all of that explicit. Instead of saying make it different, you can just say keep everything the same but change the lighting from warm to cool. That gives each important thing in your image a stable handle. You've got a subject that's separate from the environment. You've got a component IDs and a UI that are distinct from each other. And once those handles exist, which is really all JSON schema is, you can say regenerate but only change one thing. That is where these models shine. You're not throwing a whole scene back to the AI and hoping for the best. You're making a very scoped, very precise change through a structure and model understands it perfectly. And the best part, that works across completely different visual domains. I can use the same JSON approach to create a marketing photo, design a mobile app interface, and build a technical diagram. The fields change, but the method stays the same. If you're getting value from this, do me a favor and smash that like button. It tells YouTube to share this with more people who need to know it. And trust me, most people have no idea this technique even exists. Here's the one thing that matters most for anyone trying to use AI seriously: reproducibility. If you're just making images for fun, reproducibility doesn't matter. But if you're trying to integrate AI into a professional workflow, if you're working with design teams, if you're generating code from design, if you're building actual products, you need reproducibility. You need to be able to say, give me exact same screen again and actually get it. You need to be able to test whether a prompt worked in a reliable, repeatable way. JSON schemas make all of that possible. You can version control the JSON. You can say, we added these parameters in the schema, look what happens. You can compare the last run to this run and see exactly what's different. You can even enforce rules like don't make any tab target in this UI smaller than 44 pixels. That becomes part of your JSON schema. You can encode accessibility requirements, brand guidelines, technical constraints, all of it. Suddenly AI isn't just a black box that sometimes produces something useful, it becomes something you can reason about and govern. Instead of the designer typed the prompt and we got a nice screen and no one knows why, you have a deterministic set of specification, you have a documentation, you have a system. That's the difference between toy and a tool. Alright, let me show you what this actually looks like in real practice. I'm going to start with something ridiculously short. Just 8 words, please respond with a filled out JSON templates for a very creative UI about aliens. That's it. That's my entire prompt about what I want. And then I attach a JSON template, and that template is lengthy. It defines screens, components, layouts, colors, interactions, everything. The model reads that structure and fills it out. It imagines what an alien-themed UI should look like. It populates every field, it creates consistent design tokens, it defines the entire interface. And here's what I get: a fully realized concept for alien contact app, complete with specific scenes, exact color values, compound heritages, everything. Now, the first version was good, but not perfect. The angle was a bit tilted, a little too stylized, so I took the exact same JSON, added a one line, faithfully followed this JSON and produced a buildable wireframe and regenerated. Look at the results. It is the exact same design, same structure, same components, but now it is rendered as a professional, built-ready wireframe. The reproducibility is perfect. This is the power I'm talking about. I can iterate in specific pieces, I can hand it to a developer, I can version control it, I can build on it. And I did all of that without being a designer. The practice workflow is simple. You describe what you want naturally. For example, I need a mobile habit tracker app with a dark theme, 3 screens, calendar view, feels like Notion meets Duolingo. And AI interprets that using the JSON translator prompt I built. It fills out the schemas, you review it, maybe tweak a few fields, it passes the rendering model. If you want changes, you can swap out one field at a time. Look, I know JSON sounds intimidating, I know it looks like code, but it's not a code. It's a pseudocode. It's a structure, and once you understand it, it unlocks a completely different level of control with AI image generation. You go from hoping the AI guesses right to knowing it will get it right. You go from random pretty pictures to product-ready designs. You go from a toy to a tool. I'm going to put a bunch of prompts in description, the JSON translator, templates for photos, for UIs, for diagrams, everything you need to start doing this yourself.
The link is in the description because I think it is important that we actually learn to use these tools properly. And JSON prompting for certain models, for certain use cases, it is an undersold superpower. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. We're exploring the cutting edge of AI workflows on this channel, the stuff that actually matters for getting real work done. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thank you for watching.